Okay, d4, Cyan 64. Let's see what he plays. Let's allow him to play a Grunfeld if he wants to, but no, he wants the King's Indian, so go for the fianchetto variation. Ah, I stopped to think. Okay, what about this? I need to defend it. I don't need to defend it. Could just go ahead and put the bishop there. In a way, I guess I do need to defend it. If he moves the knight with tempo, then it's got two pieces attacking it. So anyway, the knight's coming out. That's part of the system anyway. So I think I will block here and castle. It's a little weird what he's done. There's pawns and light squares. So my plan is to trade off his dark squared bishop, because this is obviously geared to support his dark squared bishop, right? With all those light squared pawns. And so that's what this was for. This is so I could place this bishop here without having to worry about his knight here. So I think I'll just push in this case. Keep him on the light squares. Okay. I took with the pawn. I was wondering, he could take with the rook and have pressure on my B pawn at the cost of having a backward C pawn. Anyway, the main reason I took was just to get a tempo so I could get my queen up here. Yes, and get the straight in. If he kicks my knight, the knight can come around like this. That's if he pushes that pawn forward. Might be interesting. And I don't have other good squares for it, so. And his dark squared bishop is going to be gone from the board soon, so the only piece he'll be able to trade it off will be a queen. Aha. I mean, I don't know what I said. I said queen. The only piece that would be able to trade it off would be another knight. But I was hoping to get here first. When he gets the knight here first, then he gets to take first, which is maybe not what I want. So my knight is trapped out there for the moment, although it can go to this square if the rook were there. Let's see, my other knight. Let's bring this rook out to support my knight and to put pressure on his knight. Yeah, so his knight hops there. It can go here. So let's push a pawn forward to keep it out of that square. So now I am planning knight c5. He takes, I take with the rook, and maybe double rooks on the c-file. Keep his light squared bishop imprisoned here. Although, what he can do is, yeah, evolve it like that. He can eventually get it to this square, and I can't really stop that. But what I can do is win a pawn. Okay, so knight here maybe. Trade first to bring his rook away from the defense of this square, and then knight here. No, it doesn't help. His queen still defends. His king position is pretty secure, so. Let's see if he takes my pawns. I mean, my rook. I know I'm saying the wrong word a lot today. See if he takes my rook. Give him the option. The trade is reasonable for him. That is not reasonable though, right? I'm getting knight, bishop. He's just defended by 2 pieces and it's attacked by 3. Four. Bishop and queen are also on that square. Yeah, it was just not a reasonable move. That knight just had no good moves. I might as well hold on to this pawn. Could have gone forward here too. I will if he pushes this pawn. Oh, he's going to take there. Okay. He got a pawn. Yeah, let's just move the knight away. I think that's simplest. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, just have an extra piece now. So what am I going to do about it? Maybe I could push this pawn forward. This is defended twice. Takes. I take with the bishop, and no, I don't take with the bishop. Okay, let's lift this rook up first. See what he plans to do. I'll chase my queen. Chase my queen. Okay, trade a pawn. Chase my queen. He's really into that. Let's offer to chase his queen. Oh, he wants to take this pawn. Let's hold on to the pawn. I can't hold on to it. Okay, I take here. He takes with check. I guess it just didn't work what he was doing, right? He's going to play there. Yeah, rook here. Rook here is pretty good, even if the queen comes in here. And I defended this pawn. Well, he found some interesting tactical possibilities there. Doesn't want to allow my rook over, but can you really stop it? I was thinking he might play here, so I couldn't put a rook here. Yeah, didn't see it. Didn't see the threat. Okay, well, that was a good game. Here, let's see if we can get a rapid game. Hilmy, 2135. You know, I had a high-rated rapid player in the last game as well. So in this game, we're playing the Alekhine's defense. And I think so far is pretty normal, the chase variation. And you can take with either pawn. Lately I've been experimenting with taking with the c pawn so as to have a intact e pawn. He lets me get my light squared bishop outside the pawn chain. I think that's good in this case. I want to push the e pawn forward. It might have to go to e6 because e5 might not be supportable after a move like that, for example. So let's go bishop e7 and castle. And if he wants to go after my bishop, well, momentarily I'm stopping him, but I think in general I'll allow him to trade off the bishop for the knight if he wants to go that way. If he wants to trade for a bishop, why not? Should I drop back and let him take here? I don't really know. If he takes, then this pawn is loose. So say I drop back. I don't want to have these doubled f pawns. I want this strong center. So I would either move this to a pin or move it back here where he could trade it. If he does decide to trade and I take back, then what I'm saying is this pawn is loose. So he's got to do something about that, I think. Although there is the check here, so maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I can't actually take it. Yeah, let's see if he wants to take. It's not a blitz game after all. It was time to think about the move. And now he's going to think he doesn't want to take. Okay, so let's castle. Make way so I can castle. And if he pushes the d pawn, I push the e pawn. This knight can come out to c6 or d7, or this knight could go over to, say if this knight came to c6, this knight could go over to d7 and then to f6. But I think it's nice to keep a little pressure here. So let's bring this knight. Do I want to go to c6? No, I think I want to go to f6. Then I can bring this knight over to support it. I can bring my rook here to put more pressure on the c pawn. see, if I go here with my rook, so rook c8, he pushes the pawn. I take, he takes, and I have to move the knight. I could move the knight here. Or if I had this knight on f6, I'd have this square on d7 as a place I could put this knight. Yeah, I thought he was going for that. So knight d7, he pushes the pawn again. Or knight d7, maybe he lifts the queen or the rook and tries to double. What's my plan then? How about knight c5? Knight c5, he doesn't have a light squared bishop. If he attacks it with a knight, I can always take. So he attacks it with the queen or a rook. Or just knight here. I was thinking he has to take, I was thinking I had to take back with a pawn. It would leave me with a unpleasant isolated pawn, but I don't think so. Don't think that's unpleasant at all. So I'll just keep taking here. And maybe get a bishop on this diagonal here. Yeah, my opponent is not playing with much ambition. He's got white and he's the higher rated player. You think he would be trying harder to win. Although maybe he knows how to win the endgame here. Maybe that's the plan. Okay, there's something. There's a little something, a little spark of ambition. Let's step aside with the queen. So does my queen get trapped over here? Is that because he can push this pawn forward? I take with a pawn. Let's just slow down these pawns just a bit. If I take this pawn and he is able to take back and I move my queen, it'll just be a trade anyway, right? Oh, he's going to win with the passed pawn on the queen side, he thinks. Interesting theory. So anyway, I'll put the rook here, or the other rook, I guess. Have an idea. Maybe I don't move the rooks at all. Maybe I just go straight for my idea. My idea is queen here, knight here, threatening mate. It also threatens this pawn, for what it's worth. I just wasn't sure which rook to move where, you know. It's one of those situations where no matter what you do, you might be moving the wrong rook. I like the knight here, and I like the queen where she is, so let's take with the pawn. That'll help keep this knight up, and maybe I can get a rook on the h-file here. Okay, if I drop straight back, the knight can go to this corner. Then I can move aside. It's not a double attack or anything. think I want to step my king up and bring a rook over. Looks tempting. Okay, yeah, he wants to win on those queenside pawns. Can he do it? That's the question. The first sign of little, I shouldn't say hesitation exactly, but a little bit of defense. So how about if I put a rook here? A knight here or here would be forking these two pieces. How about doubling the rook on the A file? I was just thinking, if I double the rooks, then maybe I could push this rook here. I'm looking at that, yeah, it goes for the pawns. Single-minded. So, rook here, he queens. I take the queen. He takes the rook. I take the knight. He takes back. I've got a check. And I've got a knight here. Okay, we'll stop the pawn for now. Yeah, I don't actually see how he's going to defend that pawn. Right? Rook takes, knight takes, queen takes. That's how he's going to defend it. Okay. Defend the rook. And my rook defends the knight. It's too bad. I was thinking I could always take. So if I take with the knight, he can take the rook. If I take with the rook, rook takes. Can defend the rook this way. Now I can take with the knight. Rook takes. Now I need the queen. Okay, we can just take that. Aha. There goes that mighty pawn. Yes, he can move the knight, hitting my queen. Does it hit anything else? It hits this pawn. Let's move the queen somewhere. Be nice to threaten his rook too. But anyway, just move it somewhere where the knight can't threaten it. So the knight defends the rook, the pawn defends the knight. The rook takes the pawn, is possible, or the knight takes the pawn, then the rook takes. But he has to sacrifice a piece for that. If he just takes once, there's no check. And my knight is still defended. So if he takes twice, knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes. He has no check. My rook is defended, but my knight is loose. I just have to defend the knight. Plus I can deliver some checks against his king. Yeah, so what I'm talking about is, say, knight takes pawn, pawn takes, rook takes pawn. He's doing it. And that's with check, so let's go ahead and take. So now my knight, well, everything's defended actually. And there's no check here. He can put his rook here. I can move my queen with check. And go here. So that unpins the knight because now my my rook is defended. So the knight's no longer needed to defend the rook. And he might mate me, huh? Queen could go there. Shoot. So what's the deal? Oh, I go here. If the queen tries, there's a checkmate here I have to watch out for. I was just thinking, I've run into another one of those wily 2100 players that found a way to turn around a losing position, like happened last time. Yeah, this will be okay. This is queen versus rook. Okay, check. The king goes back. Or check, the king goes back. He resigned. Yeah, I was just going to win another pawn. And I don't think he can do some kind of perpetual check. So that resignation was entirely appropriate. Let's first go to the analysis board. For a second, yeah, -3. So I was winning at the end. So at what point am I up a knight? Oh, we just gave up the pawn here. Yeah, he sacrificed a piece, so I think that just doesn't work. In this position, black is still better by a fair amount, by a significant margin. So this sacrifice was listed, okay, but it's not good. That's what he played. And then, look at that, queen here. How does this work? What if he played rook here? Then I can go for the check. Check. And mate. Okay, okay, so I didn't have to be so cautious the way I played that. But this worked. Kept that -3 advantage. Was there any other move here? Rook c8, queen c8 would have worked too. Or king f7 would have worked. Interesting. Oh, because the queen check, then I could walk out this way. But rook c8 was best, so that was nice. I found the best move there. Okay, anyway, a fun game. And that's how it ended. Let's go back to the game. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.